Right, I guarantee that any one of these health workers over here will do a better job than whoever Boris Johnson picks as health secretary. Greetings and welcome. So, news this week, Boris Johnson has reshuffled his cabinet. Does it make the blindest bit of difference? When the deck is full of jokers, what's the point of reshuffling? You're just going to get jokers. When your deck is full of career politicians, why does it matter who's in which position? I just want to give a couple of examples here. Matt Hancock, I know he's no longer health secretary anymore, but he was health secretary during the most important time to be health secretary in the last 100 years. The guy went to university, worked in his dad's computer company for a few months after university, and then he became a career politician. What does he know about health? What possible thing does he know about health and makes him qualified to be in charge of health during the most important time in the last 100 years? Gavin Williamson, he just got fired as Education Secretary. Went straight from university to become an MP, career politician. Never even had a single normal job in his life. What does he know about education? I don't understand why these people are in charge of their relative sector. It makes no sense to me. Love him or hate him, Piers Morgan, he certainly knows how to put a sledgehammer to someone, and this is this is him basically explaining what I've just said in a perfect way to the man himself.
If you go over your charge sheet, your record as leading our education system, repeatedly shamed over school meals by a footballer, exam result fiasco, the school reopening catastrophe, where you basically sent millions of kids back to school for one day to all infect each other and then go back to their homes so they could infect their elderly relatives, which may now be why we have this horrifying daily death number. We had a poll at ITV 2 weeks ago. We asked England's teachers whether you should resign. 92% of them said you should go. And it does beg the question, given this series of abject failures that you've presided over in the last 10 months, why are you still Education Secretary? Why haven't you done the right thing and resigned and let somebody more competent take over and do a proper job? Because you have failed our kids.
And the stupid thing is, the guy's had that job 9 months since that long list of reasons why he's obviously completely incompetent. Boris thought, we might as well keep him for another 9 months. And it makes no sense because his replacement is, that van's going to try and go down that tiny little street. That's really difficult. I've tried doing that before. I've gone the long way round. Anyway, back to the point at hand. His replacement. Why is his replacement any better? Nadim Zahawi, he was privately educated. I think he had a job in marketing for a small amount of time and then went to be a career politician. What does he know about education? What possible thing does he know about education? And it just makes me think, would it really be that insane if I don't know, maybe an ex-teacher was was Education Secretary, or maybe an ex-doctor was Health Secretary? Would that be such an insane thing to do? It just annoys me. And I've said before on my videos, there's nothing more that I enjoy than finding common ground across the political spectrum. I've done a video before about first past the post, and I think this is that's one of those subjects that spans politics. You know, whether you're a UKIP voter that's annoyed with only getting one MP, or you're a Green Party voter that's annoyed about only getting one MP, that's shared across the political spectrum. And I think this is definitely shared as well. I mean, you ask anyone on the street, excuse me sir, would you like someone qualified to be health secretary or not qualified? Qualified, obviously. No, you're wrong. Of course you're wrong. Why would we want someone qualified to be health secretary? And this has got to span the political spectrum. And to emphasise this point more, I want to show an interview with Nigel Farage and Katie Hove. She's an ex-Labour MP that was very, very pro-Brexit. Two people that on 90% of their politics I completely disagree on, but they're talking about this subject and it's interesting.
Everything changed so much, and then the kind of people in the House of Commons changed. You know, I remember sitting around the tea room with all the old miners, ex-miners who were MPs and people who'd worked in factories, and really feeling I was the 41st woman out of 650 odd. So you did feel, and I never felt discriminated against at all, because some of those older men were really what I call just decent working class guys who just accepted you as you were, and I enjoyed all that. And then it changed and we got lots and lots of young
Because you had, so Thatcher was Prime Minister when you first were there.
Yes,
and
it was.
Then it was the major years, and then it was New Labour.
Oh, Tony Blair.
And not many ex-miners anymore, very different kind of people selected.
Now, I actually really enjoyed this interview. You know, when Katie's talking about ex-miners as MPs in the House of Commons, you know, it seems so alien now, doesn't it, to have actual working people rather than career politicians as MPs. And, you know, obviously, you know my feelings on Farage. You know 90% of what the guy's about I absolutely despise, but you can't say that the guy hasn't actually been vocal on this issue. He's talked about this a lot. Career politicians that have never held a proper job in their life. It's just it's one of those topics, like I keep saying, that divides the political spectrum. It does, and there's so many out there, and this is what I think is so important now. We spend so much time pointing out what divides us in this country, and I'm no angel. I'm completely guilty of this myself. I understand that, but I really think that it's time that we start discussing more about the things that unite us, because we all generally want the same things. We may have different ways of trying to go about it, but the majority of people want the same things. We want better qualified people running the country. We want better education for our kids. We want better job opportunities. We want a fairer voting system. We want less homelessness. We want more affordable homes. You know, everyone can agree on this is what we want. Obviously, apart from the rich, you know, we know that the rich don't want house prices going down, sorry, but they're the minority. They're not the majority. So we need to come together in this country, unite over these issues, and do that at the ballot box. If that involves voting for not the mainstream parties, then do so. But we need to start talking about what unites us rather than what divides us. That's me. As always, please give me your comments. Till next time. Bye bye. Oh yes, look at these guys. They don't need a van. They're just going to carry that sofa all the way back home. I generally would stop and give them a hand if I didn't have a full load in the back of my van, honestly.